This was a useful European Council, not a groundbreaking council in any way, but useful, some good progress made. I was going to mention three areas in particular. First of all, when I came here, I said it's important we make progress on this issue of winning in the global race. Secondly, the progress on the Eurozone and the banking union. And third, just a word about international priorities such as Syria and Iran. In terms of the global race issues, I said we needed to make progress on completing the single market, Europe's greatest asset. We need to make progress on deregulating and helping our businesses compete and succeed. And also, we need to make progress on doing these trade deals as the European Union with the fastest growing countries in the world and also with the biggest economies in the world. Now, I think we've made progress on all three of these. Starting with the trade deals, the EU-Japan trade deal, the idea of that deal is mentioned in the conclusions, and it talks about starting negotiations in the coming months. I think that's good progress, and I'm pleased with that. We hope to start EU-US trade deal talks in next year. Also, we're getting close to completing the Canadian and Singaporean talks in the coming months. And this agenda, really, if you put it all together, is worth something like 2 million jobs to the EU. So I think that is useful progress. On deregulation, now I'm well aware that British Prime Ministers have talked about getting Europe to deregulate for many years, and it's often a hope rather than an achievement. But I would draw your attention to a sort of Anglo-German proposal, if you like, that is in the conclusions that says this: taking account of the particular priority to foster competitiveness, the European Council welcomes the Commission's intention to withdraw a number of pending proposals and to identify possible areas where the regulatory burden could be lightened. Now, it's not often the Commission talks about withdrawing pending proposals or identifying areas where the burden could be lightened. I think that is progress, and Angela Merkel and I worked together to achieve that. On completing the single market, I've mentioned many times standing right here or in the House of Commons the importance of making progress on energy, on digital, on services. I think what's encouraging is both in the conclusions text but also in the document that's been issued with the Growth Compact, is there's a proper action plan with dates and actions on energy, on digital, on services. And I think that's been a real achievement of the last year to try and take these agendas that we all know are worth a lot to the British economy, but also other European economies, and actually have a proper programme for delivering them. So I'm pleased about that. The next issue I mentioned was obviously the Eurozone. This was what took up most of the time last night, the discussion of the Eurozone and banking union. As you know, we're not in the Eurozone, we're not going to be joining the Eurozone, but we do want the Eurozone to work. And for my part, I think a working Eurozone needs a working banking union, and this needs to be done. So we are encouraging Eurozone countries to go ahead with a banking union and make sure it works properly. We have to address the issue of how we maintain the integrity of the single market if you have a banking union that not all countries are involved in, and obviously Britain wouldn't be involved in the banking union. For me, the banking union flows from the single currency. That's why you need a banking union. You don't need a banking union because you have a single market. You need it because you have a single currency. So we do need to address the issue of how you maintain the integrity of the single market. And the conclusions refer very clearly to that in paragraph 8 for anyone who follows these things very closely.